I appreciate the invitation to give the keynote introduction to this very relevant initiative the brother Dr. George took. It would have been truly great to come to Africa's first independent country, Ghana, from colonialism, that joined remarkably so well with the older independent African country, Ethiopia. Today, I would like to address the challenges of transformation of the African raw material and agricultural economy, given we are now, the whole world is moving in what's called the fourth industrial revolution. We live in a different time now, and what challenges do we face? If the world is moving into digitalization and robotization and cyber production, how can Africa, which is a largely agrarian economy, how can it now transform? What does it mean to industrialize? Even the very meaning of industrialization is now an issue. So we're in a predominantly agricultural economy. How do we move? This is what I would like to address. And what it means is also how would the innovation approach help in this transformation dynamics and process for Africa. It is now 70 years since development studies was born, with clashes of liberal, structural, and Marxist conceptual ontologies and conceptual frames and epistemologies. Now we live at a time when we still have, in Africa, serious challenges. Agriculture remains still as the primary source of livelihood for 65 to 70% of Africans, and it's said to account for 32% of the gross domestic product. 70 to 80% of all Africans and 90% of the poor work primarily in agriculture. Africa's share of world agriculture exports has fallen from 8 to 2%. Only 8 in 54 countries invest more in agriculture. From 1976 to 1996, it is said that public agriculture investment was 1/3 the rate of other developing countries as a whole. The private sector is said to have accounted for only 2% of total agricultural research spending. In 2003, NEPAD adopted the Comprehensive African Agricultural Development Program, asking for at least 10% of national budgets toward agricultural development. But hardly this is implemented by most of the existing states. Very low investment, unfortunately, for agricultural research and development. The youth in Africa is also said to be 65% of the African population. The youth is a rich supply and source of Africa's labor force. Unemployment rates in Africa may vary regionally, but as a whole, it is said 60% of the unemployed are youth. Youth unemployment rates are said to be double those of adult unemployment in most African countries. So we have a serious problem. We have unemployed youth, we have unemployable youth, we have continuous skills mismatch in much of Africa. Very important. Graduates seek jobs. They don't create jobs. They do not become entrepreneurs, creative, innovative entrepreneurs. They usually seek jobs, but they don't know sometimes where to get employed. Even if there are factories or businesses or industries that seek graduates, there is a mismatch. There is no connection between industry and university in such a way that there is a situation where the young can be employed. Either they get employed or they create jobs. It is said on the average 72% of Africa's youth subsist daily on less than $2, which is quite amazing. It's all nearly the majority of the population. So it looks that we have a problem. Colonialism did not transform African agriculture and the raw material-based economy. Development studies and theories that replaced direct colonial policy appear also to have failed. They are now reflecting whether development economics at 70 years can have new life with post-development theories, or is about time to rethink itself altogether. So at 70 years, development studies is aging, and now some try to revive it with post-development or post-structuralism or specific fields such as gender development and others. The problem is that the policy guidelines came from development economic studies have not helped to eradicate poverty or transform the agricultural raw material based economy in Africa. We still have a predominantly agricultural economy with much poverty, and as I described to you, with youth, 72% of our youth living on less than $2 is incredible. We're now trying to also experiment with the innovation system approach. This approach originated earlier from Frederick List in 1872 and Joseph Schumpeter in the early 30s. But it got revitalized by scholars like Chris Freeman from SPRU, which recently celebrated its 50th anniversary, where I was participating. Dick Nelson from Columbia University, who did on evolutionary economics, and Lundvall from Aalborg, and Luc Sutu from UNM. This new approach to redefine development with innovation came explicitly when innovation development was linked by the Globalix experiment ever since 2000 AD, over nearly now 16 years. The real question I have is whether this approach too will succeed or fail in providing the policy tools to transform structurally Africa's raw material and agriculture-based economy. As I said, the world is now at the stage of the fourth industrial revolution. We need a new third route where we integrate our approach in rethinking how an integrated African transformation development can be made. So the new challenges are now upon us. We have the fourth industrial revolution. We have the 17 SDG goals and the 169 targets, and we are requested, or there's a demand, we cannot industrialize in the way others industrialized, with green industrialization. We cannot do catch-up, we cannot do leapfrogging. We have to find new ways. We cannot do co-evolutionary dynamics in the way others have done. We need to address the challenge of the industrial revolution, the fourth. We need to address the SDGs, which is nearly all the countries in Africa have signed. And we need to also make a green transformation of agriculture. It feels like Africa needs, like the infant industry argument, a new African agricultural, infant agriculture industry protection. A new agricultural development innovation system is needed to address the manifold challenges Africa faces today by addressing these new constraints. So to do a new system, a new third route, we need to address the following. We need to marry social capital or synergize human capital, natural capital, organizational capital, physical capital, financial capital. We need to also link capability and productive power. We need to move from linear to go to some kind of, we cannot say we can move from agriculture to industry to services, because already the service economy is on us, the ICT is on us, the digital age is on us, and how do we then address where we actually can create not so much a transformation like from agriculture to industry to innovation, but a co-evolutionary dynamics where we make sure that all the agricultural sector survives, but with all the qualities of education, health, all at a higher level. How do we do that? We need to think in a different way. We need an agricultural system of innovation. We need social entrepreneurship. We need a new innovation development system, a new social innovation, social enterprise strategy. We need to combine traditional with modernity. We need to combine indigenous knowledge with modern. We need to move also from just acquiring technology transfer to some kind of technology confluence. We need to move from knowledge transfer to knowledge exchange. We need to link informal with formal economy. We need agriculture with industry and services and knowledge to be combined in a different way, not in a linear way. We also need new curriculum with the universities about agriculture to do systematically, where wealth with moral sentiment, private with the public, market with the state, plan with and market, politics with economics, and quadruple helices, not just government, universities, industry, but civil society and community. So we need not innovation, but transformative innovation. And I would like you all to use the time to reflect deeply about how innovation system approach can succeed where development economics have failed. Let's hope that the innovation system approach will take the credit for the transformation of Africa structurally. It's Africa's raw material and agriculture economy with the well-being of the people and nature as the #1 beneficiaries and not losers. If that comes and the innovation system is designed and rethought and relearned and reapproached and re-engineered, then we'll have an amazing gift for the innovation system approach, which the development economics lost. And thank you very much. Wishing you the conference a great success, and looking forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you very much.